I got to say this right quick, but what we have to see is that if the police stop killing unarmed black men, that's the proof in the pudding, not simply economic opportunity, but they've got to stop being murdered unfairly.
Well, I'll give you this one. What about disarming the police? What about just having them carry nightsticks and the authority to arrest? I mean, now it would take a brave person to do something like that, but I know the right wing's going to think I'm crazy for saying that, but if you really want change, you have to institutionally show it to the people that you want to do this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was ironically and sadly, ironically enough, just hours before the shooting of the two police officers in Ferguson, Ed Schultz, with his bright idea to disarm the police in Ferguson. Gavin McInnes, columnist of attackymag.com, author of Death of Cool, and a regular on FNC's Red Eye. Hello, Gavin. What'd you make of Mr. Schultz's brainstorm there?
That was shocking, and it's based on this myth that once we get rid of one group of guns, like the legally registered guns, all other guns will just magically disappear. I don't know, maybe they're basing it on Britain or something, but America is not Britain.
No, America is not Britain, and I never understood how those bobbies, do what they do without any guns whatsoever. But I mean, can you imagine? Could you imagine disarming the police in Ferguson?
It's just such a bizarre reaction to cops getting shot. And even though it was said before these other two were shot, let's just look at the NYPD. They were shot because liberals have helped push this agenda that there's a mass genocide going on black men. And they get away with it because no one does the math, because no one takes math in school anymore. Millennials are illiterate mathematically. So they make up these fake numbers, and then that gives legs to this crazy theory that cops are just shooting people willy-nilly, and the next thing you know, real cops in the real world are dying. And the thought of disarming these victims just shows the sort of victim mentality we have here in America now.
Yeah, and it is true. The Attorney General of the United States reacting, saying this is an egregious attack. Do you believe that the Attorney General has played any role in creating the climate that makes these attacks on police more likely?
Yes, of course. At the beginning, Eric Holder was all about promoting this myth. But it was interesting when that document came out and the DOJ strayed from this narrative, everyone just started, instead of, taking a second going, oh, one of our own agrees that the cop, didn't act egregiously, Mike Brown didn't have his hands up. Instead of taking that report at face value, they just went, oh, scrap the DOJ, scrap Holder, that report's disgusting, it's a lie. So it goes back to what I've always said, and studies show this time and time again, when people find facts that contradict their beliefs, they become more steadfast in those beliefs.
Let's move to the University of Oklahoma incident and what's happened there. The suspension of some of the students, not suspension, expulsion, could be a lot more going on. It's funny because I'm not saying like Mika and Joe Scarborough, we're not saying that there's a direct reason for this, but they had this rapper. What's the name of the rapper that they had?
Trinidad James. Oh, Waka Flocka.
Waka Flocka Macca. Yeah. And every word out of his mouth is the N-word. They have him on campus performing. He then is so shocked and outraged over this incident that he cancels future performances that he was scheduled to make. Why would you bring someone like that on campus? I'm not saying that what they did on the bus, I'm not defending that at all. I do not necessarily believe that you suspend kick someone out of school for that. It's not like it happened in a classroom, but give me your take on this.
Well, there's a million things going on here, but the clearest one is that their free speech was violated. That's against the First Amendment. The school takes public funding. That means it's an arm of the state. And their free speech was violated when they were expelled. The frat can do whatever it wants. That's a private institution. But the school is not a private institution if it takes public funding. And the Washington Post had a great article about this. These guys have a great case. They have been wronged. And I notice in all these news pieces, by the way, they go, I'm not defending what they said, and what they said was horrible. What they said was just a stupid, drunk limerick. It might as well have been an old man from Nantucket. Okay? All this outrage is totally fake. And I'm glad you brought up Waka Flocka Flame. because this guy had 8 teenagers shot at his show in Gary, Indiana in 2010. He went to jail for violating his gun probation. One of his most popular songs is that N-word. I can't even say it on your show.
I don't think you could say the word you did say either.
Shoot, I can't even remember. Sorry.
It started with an F, but go ahead. We got 20 seconds. Go ahead. Finish up.
This is full outrage. It's liberals and blacks pretending that they're all old ladies in Victorian England, and it's a lie. And it gets paper, and liberals like to have sobbing marches. But at the end of the day, no one was truly offended by that totally harmless, silly,
Gavin,
drunken song.
Good talking to you, my friend. Got to go. Don't go away. Up next, Jonathan Gilliam will join us. Stay with